Aiden and I's project is to make an app to be like an iOS game.
Alright, well, I'm doing some sort of like research project sort of thingy on genetics, so I think it's really interesting.
So Lizzie and I are building stairs on the hill right out there to prevent falling and slipping and erosion and all that.
Well, as you know, we're going to do the recital about bullying.
Goals were to produce a comic for, well, they're to produce one comic per 2 weeks.
Well, Jessica and I are planning a beach ride for my 4-H group. It's a group I do outside of school that it's pretty much about horses, I guess.
To begin with our capstone, we thought that we were going to sponsor a child from a website, and then we thought that the website was fake. So we decided to make like limited products monthly so that people would get bored of like our products and stuff.
So, but if I was going to put it in something that all of you can understand is, imagine it's not, but imagine the game is like a car. You make the car, and I've basically completed all the car. I haven't gotten like all the stuff on it. But right now the game is kind of like a car without the transmission. You can't put it in any gears. It just drives. And you can't really do anything with it. So I hope in my next 2 weeks I can put in the game's transmission.
I thought it was fantastic. Mr. Brown developed this program for the 8th graders, and it is such a real-world experience that they've not had before, where they actually have to think critically in ways that they've not had to. And it's just been a wonderful project.
We are going to build stairs on the hill outside the middle school.
And how did you come up with that idea?
Well, it was kind of an inconvenience walking up the stairs. Walking up the hill. We're not stairs yet. Yeah. It won't be inconvenient when there are stairs.
She talks about the project frequently and tries to brainstorm on ways to make her project happen, which is a really nice thing to see. She wants to build a set of stairs from the middle school down to the parking lot because it's a slippery hill that they walk down now, and she and her partner are trying to figure out ways to make that happen. The process that they're in now is getting approval for the project, and they're just strategizing. She's using a lot of different strategies that she wouldn't normally use.
It's been hard to get measurements for the stairs and communications with adults who are going to tell us how to do it.
So how have you had to work through these problems?
Well, we just kind of have been skipping over the issue and focusing on other important key points, like writing a proposal to present to the board.
Yes, right now the middle school that they are in is separate from the rest of the school, and the way they have access to the other buildings is one of the way they have access is going down a hill that's covered in pine straw. And it's just slippery on days. I mean, I've slipped on it, going up, going down, it doesn't matter. You always see somebody taking a tumble. Now, no one's gotten seriously injured, but people trip all the time, and so they want to fix that problem. And the thing that Mr. Brown has worked with them and encouraged them to do is to think even more broadly than just the stairs, using resources that we've got in the community. Across the street is Sand Hills Community College, and they have an amazing horticulture department and landscaping department, and he thinks and would like to encourage them to think beyond just the structure of stairs and have it landscaped as well.
Mr. Brown gives us good ideas and some tasteful hints.
I don't have a partner, but yes, I have sort of gotten a relationship with Mr. Brown.
How do you feel about Mr. Brown?
I think he's a really good teacher, and I have a lot of fun with him. It's just that I do a lot more of my capstone outside of the class. But with him, he often gives me a lot of help and always encourages me to work.
Larger than that, it's giving them a skill set that they've not had before. to be able to tackle any kind of problem.
Yeah. It's really cool to be able to do things that you wouldn't ordinarily do at school. Right. And also it would help the school, maybe help it look better, and it would help maybe older people because they don't have good balance. And
Are we done?
and so if we get to research things that we've never been able to before, then it's a new experience because I don't think Lizzie and I would ever think about designing stairs before.
Well, have you ever played the game, what's it called? Never mind, it's not like any game you've ever seen before. It's called Stickman.
Well, I wanted to do like something artwork related for a long time, but I was in a group that they weren't really like interested in that, and I was fine with that. But I always wanted to do something artwork related, and now I think I work better alone.
Well, we didn't know what we were gonna do, and then I was like, oh, we should make a pencil vending machine. And so we made this cardboard cutout
Prototype.
thing, and it's really bad. But then we made a wood one that Gage is painting right now.
So
And we're going to we might put a motor or something in it where you put a coin in and it drops a pencil.
And it's basically, it's a stick figure that has to avoid obstacles that are in front of them, otherwise you die.
I thought I was finished with it a few weeks ago, but then I saw something that I really didn't like about it, so I'm just redoing some of it now.
Oh, look at that, folks. I hope they cut that out.
You're not supposed to pronounce the L. I don't actually know what's on the other side of this, so I'm just gonna give it a second so I don't scar you all. This one's not very good, but
Just show it.
okay. That, and the first one that I did, I'm actually semi-proud of.
Okay, speaking of this, I know, but they don't know. What's your major inspiration for these?
Gerard Way. They won't know who that is. He is actually the lead singer of the band that all of these are related to, that I'm kind of obsessed with, and he's like the coolest person.
I'm obsessed with them too.
Yeah, but he's mine, so. This one, don't look at that part, because it sucks, but, yeah, that I did this with charcoal. As you can see, it's really, like, smeared and stuff, which I'm not happy with, but, yeah. And, yeah, so.
Awesome. What's your
Just to
end
get-
goal?
To get them shown publicly.
Okay.
And I knew I wanted to do something programming,
Mm-hmm.
because I'm good at programming, so I decided to make a video game.
Okay. If you had to describe or advertise your product to a potential customer to get them to buy it, what would you say?
I would say that it's the best indie game you've ever played.
And what are your feelings on your capstone instructors?
Great.
Like-
He's supportive. He gave me a good idea to start this. They all did actually, because they're the one who suggested it. So.
I think it's allowed all of you guys to explore your own unique talents and do something that you're interested in rather than the same thing that everyone else is doing. And not only explore your own, but see in each other what is really unique about your peers and what strengths they have that you wouldn't normally see in the classroom.
I think there's certainly been relationships that have been strengthened from it. If you look at I think they were already friends, but certainly strengthened bond. If you look at the girls that every lunch want to work on Capstone instead of going down to lunch, or the dance group that every time you see them, whereas they used to be tumbling before at recess, now it has a purpose and they're always practicing their dances. So I think it's strengthened a lot of relationships, and it's also been something that's reached across the grades, where there have been 7th graders who tried to start their own business venture to tie into Capstone. So I think it's expanded in some ways even more than we expected it to.
It's sort of like, it's a food vending machine, except it's based on, this one is based on the honor system.
Mhm.
Our wooden one, we hope that we can get some type of security into it.
Mhm.
So pretty much what you do, you just slide a quarter or 50 cents in here. With, like, if you want to buy mechanical, then you would put 50 cents. Number 2 pencil, you would put 25 cents, and then you would just lift the flap and take a pencil.
I'm just glad to be able to work with my partner. I've learned a lot about her that I wouldn't have known if I hadn't started this with her. So I've always really been into webcomics and comics. Just that sort of animation idea really intrigued me. And Ellie already has past experience with editing and drawing and writing plot lines and stuff. So I wanted it to sort of be like an animated story, which would be really fun, but also have the ability to put in my drawing into it.
Well, me and MJ are event planners, and we are throwing a dance on March 1st at the CC&C Clubhouse for the 7th and 8th graders at O'Neill. I think we wanted to actually complete something instead of just starting something and not like actually working out. So that was our goal from the beginning.
Because we all need pencils, so
And teachers like Miss Wolferman get mad at you if you don't have a pencil. And sometimes in your class, your friends aren't that nice, and they don't have other pencils.
I think that the only thing is that now we have a series of checks and balances that I think are simple, that people can fill out a sheet on a daily basis, and every 2 weeks they fill out a progress sheet that allows us to track progress better, allows you guys to plan a little better. I think right off the bat, if we'd just gone with that as the whole system of evaluation, I think that would have been a little smoother. That initially we weren't sure exactly what methods would work best with you guys.
I think at first it was a little hard to get started because we had to figure out how to like contain such a big idea in just 2 trimesters. But then when you get started, it's really a great way to use your time and to learn life lessons through doing something that you've actually chosen.
Our highest sales that we have had so far came during the exams.
Yeah.
Where since a lot of kids didn't bring that much to school, they probably forgot pencils. So they just, since they knew that this was in Jan's office, they saw it and they put 25 cents and took a pencil.
It's in Jan's office, if you don't know.
It's just a small game, simple.
We're already about halfway done, so probably in the next trimester we can come out with the first issue of the graphic novel, and if we really do like how it finishes and how it comes out publicly, we may continue.
Definitely life skills, because we've gotten declined a lot of things and we had to learn to overcome that. So I think we're going to learn that not everything goes your way, but that doesn't mean you can just give up. You just got to keep going.
Want to see the game?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's basically the starting menu. I have to press start. And then you press start, and then the bricks come and I just died. No, I didn't die. I saved myself.
What has your highest profit been, like money-wise?
Like $5 or $6?
Yeah, $5 or $6.
Okay.
And that's just off of like 25 cents.
Okay, that's good. Do you think that you or the school will continue your project after Capstone ends?
Yeah.
I hope so.
I mean, if we supply them with pencils often, like we could come down out, like once we go to high school next year, we could come down and put pencils in, and then at the end of the week we could come back and collect our money.
How has your relationship with your partner changed throughout the Capstone Project?
Tazi and I, we don't have any classes together, so we got some bonding time when we were making the wooden prototype. Well, it's not a prototype, the wooden pencil vending machine. And he would come over to my house and we'd wood and take together.
And I also think it's also definitely built our trust in each other up, because I definitely have learned a lot of stuff and how to trust Lyle and stuff.
If you could give a piece of advice regarding Capstone to rising 8th graders, what would you say?
to think big and to be flexible, to start thinking of ideas now that they can try and approach when they get into the class next year, not to rule anything out.
Yeah, I think to go for it,
Yeah.
to find something that you actually want to do and pursue it, and don't worry about whether or not it works.
Right.
We'll figure that out along the way.
And the whole thing about this is when it doesn't work, you're still learning something, you're still growing and gaining a good experience from it. So failing technically isn't failing in our eyes here.
My favorite thing about the capstone class is actually having an allotted period of time where we can work on something that we're interested in.
If you had to describe or advertise your project to a potential customer, what would you say?
Buy a pencil. It's the best thing you can do.